Hey, this is Austin and Amber. If you were catching us from the other videos, welcome back. If this is your first time, glad you're here to join us. Today we're going to discuss our fourth favorite opportunity for expansion from our recent book, Opportunities for Expansion. And this one specifically is about understanding fear. The previous ones we got into what can you do to change the world, reacting versus responding, and then observing and engaging. And so we chose understanding fear in terms of flow because this is just an important theme. All of us are just afraid at some point in our lives. It's something that we as humans deal with. And it's important to take a moment to just observe and engage and not react and respond, or not react and choose to respond when it comes to fear. It's the best way to move forward. So we wanted to discuss understanding fear, to really dive into it, and then start talking about what it means for us and some of the things that we do to eliminate fear in our lives. So I'll begin. This is in our book, this is week 12, day 2, understanding fear. Fear is a natural physical reaction to potential pain or unrecognizable events. The amygdala, a portion of the limbic system in our brain, sends signals when met with these conditions to react to potential danger before harm can be caused. When fear is invoked, breathing patterns become rapid, blood pressure increases, muscles tense, blood vessels dilate, the immune system slows, and many other aspects of the body shift to deal with this danger. So, how might we begin to conquer fear? Understanding that the emotion is tied to a physical reaction generated in our brain, we can begin to recognize when the reaction is starting and consciously choose to relax our bodies and deepen our breath. By making these shifts, we alter the remaining physical reactions. The body triggers the brain to relax and allows time to observe the fear trigger to understand if it's dangerous or just simply different. Take a few moments throughout today to observe your physical condition. Are you relaxed and breathing deeply, or is your body tense and breath shallow? If you feel tension, will you allow yourself the moment to reconnect with a deep breath and relax the body where possible? I really like this one. I've definitely dealt with fear in my life before, or now still. Fortunately, with this book, I've really learned how to overcome fear. Part of my journey in my life is I played golf in college growing up, and one of the things we were always afraid of was, hitting a quote-unquote bad shot, or hitting it in the water, or out of bounds, or in the sand. There was always fear. And one thing, being able to really choose to respond to the situation correctly and not react and make it more difficult than it actually needs to be, and then being in observance of what I'm actually doing, and knowing that in the end, fear only exists in the future. It's something that we are creating. And so when we can take the time to observe that, we have the ability to choose to eliminate that fear. And that's what's so important. I played the best rounds of golf when I had no fear. I was truly just in the moment, doing what I knew how to do best. And I loved it. There was no fear at all. And that's something that we can apply to any time in our life. I'm sure we've all been there when we're just doing something, we're not even really thinking about it. We're just being. And we end up having great moments, or, in sports, we just play our best, or just in life, we're not afraid. We're just accomplishing, we're doing, we're most importantly being. So, why did you like this one?
So, fear can be completely debilitating. You end up frozen by it instead of able to move forward with it. Mm-hmm. So, this was one, honestly, almost every one of these are things that I've used in my own personal life. Mm-hmm. And this one in particular, meditation was a huge asset to me, because when I was faced with a new challenge, immediately the first thing I would feel is that, oh no, am I going to be good enough? Am I going to be able to do this? And that was my ego sparking all of that fear of not being worthy. But when I could step back from that and I could feel how it was making my neck and my shoulders tense and my stomach clench, and I understood what it was doing to my physical body, then I could use meditation, breathing, or mindfulness kind of body meditation to relax everything. And suddenly the fear that I had just kind of, it didn't go away, but it didn't seem as important because I was connected to the moment, and I knew that whatever was going to be was going to be. And so suddenly I started kicking butt and taking names. And I knew that there was something to it, because ultimately, without fear, we realize we're limitless. And when we realize we're limitless, then we become what we believe, and we just take off and we soar. And so this is another one of those keys, those fundamental building blocks too. We're all going to feel fear. It's part of our very innate existence. But how do we navigate consciously beyond it? And this is a tool to do that.
Absolutely. Excellent answer.
Oh, thanks. I wasn't afraid.
One of the things that really kicked in here was what you just said about, it's innate. Fear, I mean, it's survival. One of the things with fear is that at one point, humanity needed it. It was part of survival. It really kicks in. It's a part of the brain function. And so, fortunately, we don't need to run away from cheetahs or lions or anything these days. It's a lot different world. So we don't need to deal with that on a day-to-day basis. Survival isn't something that needs to kick in because the way that we live these days in modern society. So it gives us that opportunity to not have to rely on these survival instincts and these fear, because in the end, we live quite amazingly. I mean, we have great lives, all of us. I mean, in modern age, most beings do. And so it's that opportunity to realize that all that fear that we do have is being created in our mind. We can step back and be grateful for the moments that we're in and the life that we have, food on the table, shelter, because unfortunately there are beings that do have to deal with that and actually have those kind of things that would be scary to anyone. So to be able to step back and observe that situation and realize, wow, I'm really making a big deal out of nothing. Is hitting a golf ball in the water in this moment really going to change my life exponentially to the point to where I'm debilitated? No. Maybe if I was in the U.S. Open, but
we just had the Waste Management Open. Some of those people made that different.
But for most of us, just using that as an example, and just the great point about meditation. And for those of you who have never meditated before, sometimes we have that viewpoint of meditation as sitting in the corner and just being like this and not really in it, or in the just kind of away from everything and everyone. And that's kind of what society has really brought meditation as. The way that Amber really described it in the moment was to say that meditation is simply being present, being in the moment. So one can be, for example, golfing, and that could be active meditation as long as I'm in the moment. It could be simply driving. If you're afraid of the cars around you or anything along those lines, or whatever situation you are in life.
I'm meditating right now. Shh. Seriously.
So that's just enables you to really understand where this fear is coming from, to be able to eliminate that and move past it and succeed or accomplish whatever you are doing, to stop being debilitated by something that you're creating, and start to create what you actually desire, which is the opposite of that fear.
Love it.
Perfect.
So if you love these, you know how to find us. You can click on the link below and get this book. It's filled with cool little tips like that you can execute every day. And you can also leave us some comments so that we can hear from you. You know, we have these opportunities for expansion, but when we all put our perspectives in, we all grow together. We provide opportunities for expansion as a collective whole. So we want to hear from you. Tell us what you think. Give us your experiences. Sound off.
Yeah, what have you been afraid of? What kind of opportunities, or what did you do to allow yourself to get over that fear in your life? Those are the kind of things we'd love to hear, and hopefully what you heard today will help us in the next situation that you're in. So, well, thanks for joining us today, and if you'd like to continue on, just click below, and we hope to see you soon.
And I want to congratulate Austin, because one of his fears was actually being on camera, and he's breaking that. So
yes.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you all again for joining us. Namaste.
Namaste.